Here we are at part 4 of 6 in the countdown of my top 30 favorite films. This video is going to be number 15 to number 11, so if you haven't seen any of the previous videos in the countdown, annotations on screen and links in the comment section below are all clickable, and the same goes for that like and subscribe button. But let's move forward. Number 15. Fargo. A story about how greed can corrupt people. William H. Macy plays Jerry Lundegaard, a struggling car salesman whose business is going under. His father-in-law is a wealthy businessman, so he comes up with a scheme. He hires kidnappers to abduct his wife, let his father-in-law pay it, and then he would split the ransom with the kidnappers. It's a simple plan, but it slowly starts taking turns for the worse.
Fuck you, man! Where's Jerry? I gave simple fucking instructions!
Where's my damn daughter?
As things start going wrong, he has to cover his tracks up more and more to avoid getting caught.
Wade, it's Jerry. We gotta talk.
What do you think they're doing with Mom?
It's okay, Scotty. They're not gonna want to hurt her any. These men, they just want money.
What makes this movie work so well is the flawless script writing by the Coen brothers. They do such a great job of showing the slow deconstruction of every character. It helps give the movie a very vivid feel, and that's what makes this movie, as well as the Coen brothers, so great. Number 14. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Ferris Bueller is the definition of cool. He's a guy just trying to live life.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
By his side is his best friend Cameron and his girlfriend Sloane. They decide to ditch school and go out and see the city.
The question isn't what are we going to do, the question is what aren't we going to do.
They go to all sorts of places and just try to make the best out of every opportunity that arises. Ferris is notorious for mischief, so it's no surprise that his sister, as well as the principal of his school, are willing to go to extreme lengths to catch him ditching. My favorite scene is when they're at the parade and Ferris decides to jump on one of the floats. It's just a good example of the movie's message. Live life like every day is your last. Number 13. Pulp Fiction. This is another film that's hard to explain. The story follows two mobster hitmen, a mob boss's wife, a boxer, and a pair of robbers. Now that being said, you could assume that this is a gangster movie. Well, in a sense it is, but what makes it so great is the dialogue. This is a movie that is completely driven by the conversations of the characters.
But you know, touching his wife's feet and sticking your tongue in the holiest of holies ain't the same fucking ballpark. It ain't the same league. It ain't even the same fucking sport. Look, foot massages don't mean shit.
Have you ever given a foot massage?
Don't be telling me about foot massages. I'm the foot fucking master.
Most movies that attempt to pull off a dialogue-based story fail miserably. But that's because most movies aren't written and directed by Quentin Tarantino. This is the movie that made him a household name and showcased his genius writing abilities. Not only is the acting great, but the music selection as well. Every song fits every situation perfectly.
You my nigga?
Certainly appears so.
This is something that Tarantino has perfected to a T, and has helped cement him as one of the best filmmakers of our generation.
And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Number 12. The Lord of the Rings. Even though it's a trilogy, I'm going to count it as one since it's a story that unfolds in the duration of 3 movies. For those of you who don't know the story, I'll give you the simple version. It's the ultimate adventure tale. A magical ring comes into possession of a hobbit who must go on a quest to destroy it. He gets help from different races from all over the world. Elves, dwarves, wizards, and men form a fellowship to help him on his quest, hence the title of the first movie, The Fellowship of the Ring. They learn that dark forces are rising up to stop them on their quests, led by an evil wizard who lives in a tower and is being persuaded by another enchanted tower with a giant eye, hence the title of the second movie, The Two Towers. Keeping up so far? One of the men in the fellowship is heir to be king, and must return to take the throne to defeat the dark forces, hence the title of the third film, The Return of the King. But all of it will be in vain if the ring that came into the Hobbit's possession isn't destroyed. That's the best that I can describe it for anybody who doesn't know the story. But for those of you who do, you know exactly how awesome these movies are. Everything just works. The characters, the costumes, the settings, the musical score, the action. I could sit here all day and talk about how good these movies are. Still not convinced? Well, what if I told you that all 3 of these movies combined won a total of 17 Academy Awards, including 11 won by Return of the King at the 2004 Oscars.
And the Oscar goes to... It's a clean sweep. The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, Barry M. Osborne, Peter Jackson, and Tran Walsh producers.
So if you thought The Lord of the Rings was just for nerds, think again. Number 11, The Avengers. I had to put it on the list. Anyone who knows me personally knows I'm a big Marvel fan, so you can only imagine how excited I was when it finally came out. The gist of the story is that Loki, the god of mischief, is planning to take over the Earth by unleashing an alien army from another galaxy called the Chitauri. So Earth's mightiest heroes must assemble to stop his plot. I feel like a kid when I talk about this movie because I always get so excited. It's just a spectacle to see all the heroes in one movie together. Seeing each of them use their powers to solve certain situations and even working together is just an awesome sight to see. And by the time the movie's over, you're just left wanting more. Even though it took 5 years of build-up and planning, it was all worth it. Usually when something has that much anticipation, it's a letdown. But Disney put their big boy shoes on and created a movie that can only be described as a nerd's utopia. So for those of you who are skeptical about Disney releasing the 3 new Star Wars films, just let this movie be an example of what to expect.